One of its kind program, and it is definitely a good beginning to a vibrant fact check community in Hyderabad, we hope. And as the professor said, the man who has contributed a lot to this project, and he's been a great guide all his journalistic career for us. He is a learner at all times and a teacher at all times for the community. Mr. Sudhakar Reddy Urmala sir, kindly come and give us your views.
Good morning. Sir, the U.S. Consulate General Public Diplomacy Officer, David Moyer. Sir, Professor Registrar Lakshmi Narayan, Professor Dean Narendra Garu. Welcome to the city of Hyderabad, the city of Nawabs, city of Biryani, city of Halim, city of IT Pharma, Nivedita, city of vibrant media. We have all Telugu TV is the most vibrant media here. So actually I want to tell you, I have been in every session we speak, I tell them this world will not see the labor pain, it will only see the baby. So we are currently, it's 90-hour program, that's 9-month, 90-hour comparable. So we are in the 6.5 months. So I hope the day when we deliver the baby, so you see the result and tell us. For now, I can see the symptoms, signs, and maybe through ultrasound scan that how the baby is healthy. So we have 3 objectives. One is preventing misinformation, sneaking into or getting into the mainstream media. That's a main objective because they're all input editors, reporters who are doing most of the time they're on the field. So how to prevent misinformation creeping into the mainstream media. That we already have some success stories. We are compiling those. Maybe in the next session they will be talking, participants, about their how they prevented misinformation or disinformation getting into the TV bulletins or reports. That objective, I think we are in the process of achieving it, and we have clear examples and case studies where we have friends sharing during the sessions that they have stopped how a video or a photograph or some Twitter fake. Because we were teaching sometime in police academies, they tell if you want to be a policeman, you should know the ways of the criminal. Likewise, there is a famous tiger tracker here by called Nawab Shahat Ali Khan. He tells us because he hunts man-eater tigers, so he says if I want to hunt a man-eater tiger, I have to think like a tiger, a man-eater tiger. Likewise, we have been teaching them the ways of how people manipulate media, how people create misinformation, how they generate fakes. Likewise, other objective is to make them fact checkers in future. For instance, if they want to take up independent, and we have people now like I can quote example like Rajeshwari, she's doing for one of the websites. She's fact checking already, and she has her own plans, which I can't reveal, but she can tell when it happens. So to start our own fact checking website, and we have people like Kavita doing YouTube videos. We have Tulsi doing fact check videos. So these are all the impact part of the project. And we have a lot of other people like the other objective is these TV units, they don't have fact checking units currently. Like India Today has got a fact checking unit, and so I have heard from their managements or their editors that ETV, for instance, they're starting a fact checking unit. So I think there are a lot of four from ETV. I think they're doing good, and even other TVs also like TV5 or TV9 and V6, all NTV, all popular TVs. They are so hope if they start fact checking units, and I think these people will be useful for them to do fact checks every day and verification. Apart from that, the other objective is to train them in digital forensics, OSINT and data mining, because they are all regular reporters. So if too many fact checkers we produce, Boomline can't give jobs to them. So we are actually making them to how to dig deep into the billions of websites or data sets or what. So they are being also trained in digital forensics and OSINT and open source intelligent techniques, so that it can be useful for them to produce better stories. And there are instances people are talking about this, how it's useful. So thank you. I think we will deliver the baby, sir, and we'll invite you again on the day. So thank you very much. And they are wonderful people. All of them are, despite I put a lot of pressure on them. Though they say, I am in a meeting, I am covering this, come what may, but we have achieved more than 90% attendance. So thank you very much. You are participants at the big, and I thank US Consulate because it's wonderful on part of them to conceive this kind of project, and it's for the real democracy. You need free press, and you need because fact checking has become very vital. And I thank Usman University Registrar Sahab. Your professor is silent, but is a great leader. Because all of us has got temptations and different behaviors, but professor always cools us down, calms us down, so that program runs very good. And Syed Sahab, he has trained. Yesterday we met a good fact-checking community here, which under the aegis of data leads they trained, and they're doing wonderful work. Like Satyapriya, actually, somebody is trying to give credit only to me, but Satyapriya is equally in that book which we have written. And we have, I'll tell you one more example. There is a book tip sheet we are giving today. That is being, it's one of the project success. Vinod Kumar is one of the participants. He's from ETV. He played a key role in that writing. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Nivedita. I think we will have real life because you're doing a wonderful job in Boom Life. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. We are actually learning a lot. Yesterday we had learned that there's an artificial intelligence employed to kind of counter misinformation and disinformation, which was revealing for us. So this is the beginning. We hope to actually add to the community. Can I request Professor Lakshmi Narayana sir to come and say a few words?
Thank you, Aishwarya. Namaskar to everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. Respected Mr. David Moyer, Public Diplomacy Officer, US Consulate General, Hyderabad. Welcome, sir. Professor K. Narendra, Dean Faculty of Social Science, Usman University. Mr. Syed Najagar, Founder and CEO of Database, welcome, sir. Ms. Nivedita Garu, News Editor, South India, Boomline, welcome, ma'am. And Professor K. Stevenson, Head of Department, Journalism Department, Usman University. Friends from the media and participants, I'm very happy to see you all with laptops. Actually, in a classroom or in any meeting, you will sit just ideally, but here it looks like a conference. Very actively people are participating here. I congratulate all the participants for attending this conference. Really, I am very happy. And I congratulate Professor Stevenson organizing such a important and very interesting and beautiful conference for the media people. It is indeed a matter of pride to be associated with this conference on countering disinformation for Telugu television reports. I congratulate the Department of Journalism, Usman University, for this initiative, and also thank the US Consulate General Officer for its financial support. The conference is timely intervention coming against the backdrop of a surge in disinformation across the globe, threatening the social fabric, education institutions, especially journalism schools, have a greater responsibility in training students in the finer aspects of combating such a misinformation. At the same time, they have to reach out to the journalistic community, sensitize them on the various facts of misinformation. I'm sure eminent speakers from the fact-checking community will address these issues. I wish the conference a great success. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Congratulations once again to all for joining this conference. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. And thanks to you for the computers. Can I request Professor Kenaran to say a few words?
Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to associate with this fact-checking workshop. And I want to learn a lot from the erudite speakers here. And I personally feel that for a journalist now, fact-checking is an important thing. Because there's falsification that is happening. There's fake news that has got into journalism. And to know what is right and what is wrong is important. And I'm sure this workshop will go into greater detail of what facts are and how to unearth those facts for the public. I think I look forward to a great deliberation here and look forward to more and more fact-checking in future from your side. This is wishing you all the very best, and I'm sure this will be a great learning exercise for you as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we come to the crucial part of the session, morning session, the keynote address by Mr. David Moyers. Before that, I would like to call upon Corina. Can you please introduce David, sir?
Again, good morning. Mr. David Moyer is a public diplomacy officer with the U.S. Consulate General, Hyderabad. He joined the U.S. Department in 2003. Overseas assignment in Mexico, Vietnam, South Korea, and Cyprus. In the Washington, D.C., he served as a deputy director in the United Nations. Political affairs. David Moyer recently concluded a Person Fellowship as a foreign policy advisor for Indiana Senator Todd Young. He has a bachelor's degree in Japanese and international relationships from the Brigham Young University and an MBA from the George Washington University. His wife, Audrey, is also a Foreign Service officer, and they have 3 sons. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and especially a pleasure to meet Professor Lakshmi Narayana, the registrar, Professor Narendra, the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, and of course Professor Stevenson, the Head of Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, and our fellow speakers, Syed Nazakat and Nivedita Kumar. It's a pleasure to meet you all. And of course, for all of you, it's very impressive for me on a rainy, dark Saturday morning. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. You probably didn't either. And so to see all of you here giving your weekend to become better at your jobs and to be able to provide better service to the people that watch your channels, that's very impressive to me. It's a good sign of the dedication that each of you have. So I'm very impressed and proud to be a very small part of what's happening here. But yes, I am looking forward to seeing the baby in a few months. As you heard, I'm the father of 3 sons, And in America, the father can be in the room when the child is delivered. It's not always a pleasant experience. It's a very traumatic experience. But to see life happening is amazing. And now my sons are older, and I'm very proud of them. But to be there at the beginning was a little scary. And so maybe that's kind of like these training opportunities. The process can be scary because we're talking about disinformation. And in my opinion, disinformation is probably one of the greatest threats to democracy in the world. We've seen many examples throughout history, and unfortunately more and more recently, where misinformation can cause violence, because you can get people stirred up, you can get them concerned about something, and then they will feel the need to take action. As you heard, I've lived in many different countries. Some of those are communist countries like Vietnam, and there they control the media very aggressively because they're concerned about people reacting differently than the government would like. So I've seen firsthand when the government tries to control the media, how damaging it can be and how limiting it can be for a country. I met Karina for the first time a few months ago. Do you remember that first meeting, Karina?
Yes.
At the reception?
Yes.
And she was a little nervous to meet me. I said, I've seen your articles and I've seen your messaging and tweets and things. And she was a little nervous because her job as a journalist is to sometimes call out the U.S. government too, right? We expect all of you to report openly and transparently about information. And if you don't like a policy of the U.S. government, you can talk about it. But you can talk about it from a position of having knowledge and information and fact. And so when I first met Karina, she was a little nervous because sometimes she calls out U.S. policies. I said, that's great. In fact, we have supported her and others to participate in training programs where we send you to the United States and you spend 3 weeks learning about the importance of transparency and how to be some of our journalism techniques. And that's important. So even the U.S. government is certainly not perfect, and we don't mind you asking questions about our policies and our decisions, but we expect you to do it from a position of fact and being clear when you're talking about your opinion versus what's fact. So it's a pleasure to be here. And again, when I think about disinformation, why it's so important to me is it's increasingly difficult for me as a U.S. government official to figure out what's true and what's not true. And I know you're all suffering from the same challenge. There's so much information out there. I think the word we like to use is we're swimming in a sea of information. How do you know what's correct and what's not? Well, given enough time, if I gave you 5 hours, you could probably figure out if something's true or not, right? Do we have 5 hours to give? When you're editors and you are trying to make decisions and you're trying to get news out on the TV and the internet, because as we saw yesterday with the horrible events in Japan with Prime Minister Abe, things are happening quickly. People want to know what's going on. Why was he attacked? Who was this person who attacked him? And if you don't have the information quickly, it doesn't have any value. And your news agency will not be able to stay in business. So we know we have to act quickly, but if you're putting out information that, well, I think this might be true, and it ends up not being true, that's going to be a big challenge, and hopefully it could affect your business in the long run. So the U.S. government and the U.S. consulate here in Hyderabad, we know how important these issues are, and we know how hard you are all working. We know how important the Telugu media is to this part of the country. So rather than the U.S. government coming in and trying to tell you how to do your jobs, because we don't know how to do your jobs, we put out a proposal. We said we want to hear ideas about how the U.S. government can partner with somebody here in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, to do more to combat disinformation. And thankfully, this amazing team at Osmania University gave us a proposal, and they came up with this idea. So this is not the U.S. government's idea. We are simply a partner, and we are so proud and honored to work with Osmania University and the team here to implement this workshop. And again, I think it's a great testament to see all of you here today. And finally, I just want to note, again, why disinformation is important to me. As a U.S. government official, it's very important. But I also think about people like my mom. I was just in the United States for a few weeks, spending time with my mom. She's 77 years old. She's very educated, but she's getting older, and she doesn't always know how to get information. And she wants to be a responsible citizen, so she wants to be informed, so she reads the newspaper each day. And, you know, we have elections in a few months in the United States, not for a president, but these are our midterm elections where we will vote on members of Congress, and this will likely have some impacts on the presidential elections in a little over 2 years. So as we get ready for that, there's a lot of information flowing in the United States again. You've seen some recent decisions about the Supreme Court, about gun violence, lots of information swirling around the United States. And my mom, she wants to know what's really going on. She wants to be informed so that she can be a responsible voter and cast a ballot and elect officials that she thinks will support her viewpoints. And so, how does she get her information? She watches some TV news, she reads the newspaper, but the internet is such a challenge these days. She doesn't use WhatsApp, well, that's probably good. But I know a lot of you get information through other means as well. And it's so difficult to know what's real and what's not real. So I hope that this program makes your job easier, makes you more effective, and really just refines your skills, because you're not learning new things, you're probably learning how to do your current job better. Because you were selected for this program because you're already leaders in your industry. And we just hope that these workshops can make you even better in what you're doing, make you more effective, which will be good for your careers, but even more importantly, make you more responsible to the citizens, the people that are watching your broadcasts, because they rely on you to explain information and help them understand what's real. So thank you for the good work that you're doing. Thank you for giving your time, especially on a rainy Saturday morning. You said it was a beautiful day. I appreciate that outlook, because I don't necessarily always think of that way when it's raining, but that's very good that you have a positive outlook, and it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for that beautiful address. Indeed, it is very important. I think a lie, when you say it enough number of times, it's accepted as truth. So I think in this world of misinformation and disinformation, I think it's great to be here. And currently, I think right now it's time for a tea break. I hope we have the time. Sir. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's what happens if you have an amateur behind the mic. So, I'm sorry about that. Yes, we'll have to wait for the tea. There is a list of the education resource material painstakingly done by as Sir Sudhakar Sir said, Sudhakar Sir and Satapriya and others. So, we'll have the release and distribution of this resource material. Can we have... Dr. Mayers will be doing it. Dr. Moyes will be doing it, and the book, I think we should come. Sir, Satyapriya ma'am and Sudhakar sir, can you please come in? Sir, would you like to join?
I can keep one. Okay. Just show them. Cover, sir.
The book does look beautiful and extensive. They are all waiting for it, and the book will be distributed later for the participants.
Certainly one of its kind.
Well, it's time for a tea break. In Hyderabad, tea is very important. So I think we'll again team up for what we have been waiting for. That's address. Yeah. Before that, let's have a tea break. Yeah. I think, sir, where can we? Seminar is also a part of this, and Professor K. Stevenson, the hero behind the scenes hero who has been organizing this conference, who has been doing a lot of work arranging our facilities. Sir, can you please come and give us the project overview?
A very good morning to all of you. Respected Mr. David Meyer, Public Diplomacy Officer, United States Consulate General Hyderabad, Mr. Lakshminarayana, Registrar, Osmania University, Mr. Narendra, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Mr. Syed Mazakar, the founder CEO of Data Leads, Ms. Nivedita and News Editors of Boom Live, officers from the Consulate General, US Consulate General Hyderabad, and friends from the media. But first, let me thank the US Consulate General for partnering with the Department of Journalism and lending financial support for this prestigious project on countering disinformation for Telugu television reporters. This is the first of its kind for Telugu journalists who have such rare opportunities in training on fact-checking as opposed to their English counterparts. Let me very briefly outline the progress of the training program so far. The program began with extensive consultations among team members on the broad contours of the program. Later, the team approached the managements of television media houses in the Telugu states to propose their staffers. The response was encouraging, and we had initially a pool of 60 members, which had to be pruned down considering their participation and involvement. Today, we have a total of 40 participants, of whom 35 are working journalists from various districts, 5 are students of journalism. Out of the 35 working journalists, 17 are men and 18 are women. I think suggested that we should have at least 40% of women, but I think we have exceeded the number. The resource persons here include expert trainers, News Lakarati, a senior journalist, Vivian Satyapriya. Then we had cyber security and digital hygiene experts, senior academics like Professor Padmaja Shah, and RTI experts from the Mari Channareddy Institute of Human Resources. We had experts from data journalism, data security. Right? We also had a session with the Indian Business School, Mohali, with regard to their India data portal. The project team has Sivakar Reddy, we have Corina Suarez, who has just introduced the seminar. Then we have Ramu also, who has been with us. From the US side, we have Abdul Basit, who has been very prompt to intervening whenever we sought his help. The project entered a period of consolidation as the team sharply focused on the training teams. Broadly, the topics included misinformation, dimensions, disinformative basics of fact-checking, importance and role of journalists in the larger context of the society, and how to fact-check